Welcome to Tea Time on Plus TV Africa as we analyze the biggest entertainment stories and have lifestyle conversations. My name is Elsie Godwin and I have my co-anchors with me, Ife Omai and Ife Oluwa Oshunke.
One.
Hello.
I'm great, you?
Good, great.
How's the day been?
Okay, well.
Yours?
I do have an adjective. You just stay. Okay, so Nigerian singer Douglas Jack Agu, popularly known as Runtown, said that he has received his stimulus payments from the United States of America's government. Runtown made the announcement on his Twitter page. According to him, he would be sharing it with his friends on his Twitter page.
This is not fair.
Okay, first, you remember the conversation we had regarding making double citizenship illegal? I mean, if that was the case, would our brother be getting stimulus that he would share? I mean,
True that.
I think the best thing you can do for yourself right now is be a double citizen. That's the biggest blessing. Sometimes I ask my parents, what were you thinking when you gave birth to me here? Like, wrong decision. Because if you just mistakenly gave birth to me in the UK, my life would be very different.
Maybe you have the COVID-19 right now.
Maybe, but I'm sure my life before then would have been better. I'd rather have a fulfilled life and die of COVID than just be alive and just hopeless and running like a headless chicken. That's just me, personally.
Is that what you're doing now?
I'm asking you, like,
That's just me, to be honest.
do you feel like that's how your life feels right now?
No, I'm just saying, like, some people have, I've barely lived here, so this obviously does not apply to my personal life, but that's just when I'm safe. If I was in that situation, I'd rather have double citizenship. Anyway, is the 10 million naira from the money that Americans are giving him? Because those stories are beginning to go intertwined. He did say he was going to share 10 million naira to his followers.
Yeah, that was last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah.
Runtown had already shared the 10 million naira way back.
Yeah, I think, was it last week
At
or
the
2 weeks
beginning
ago?
of the lockdown,
Yeah.
I think when the Lagos State lockdown
He's already
happened.
shared it.
Yeah, he already shared that. So this is a new cash in hand that he's willing to share.
So you just
from
360K, that's
Yeah,
apparently $1,000.
Right. It's weird to see that somebody who was banned is still getting that, but I guess that it even shows how much there's so much to share and provide. So I'm sure there's other Nigerians that
Do you
on that
think it was a
table as well.
mistake considering the fact that it was...
Mistake? Americans don't make mistakes like that.
Yes, they
but
do.
they
There's
could-
a
they could
story
make
that
mistake.
went viral about a man, it's in Indiana also, that instead of his $1,000 stimulus package, he got $8.1 million and he reported it.
What he has to, because you get
They'll find out.
yeah.
Yeah, of
But
course.
what I'm even saying is that I don't think they make mistakes in giving somebody who is not a citizen or has that ability, because everything is systematic. That's kind of like what I'm trying to say. So I'm guessing now that America still has the same data collection for people who they've also banned, because I would have thought that they would take that out of there to then not have the access to send him that money. But regardless, I feel like this story just even made me feel more shameful for Nigeria, because here you are comparing with your country to a country that is giving money to the people they've even banned, and we haven't even been able to see 5,000 naira from the government.
But this money, you're talking about just the poor.
And it come out Nigerians, it doesn't matter who. Even one poor person should say that they've given them 5K. Or rich person. No one has said anything.
Okay.
So...
Wow.
Okay, for me, congratulations to Runtown. I mean, being his citizenship is paid, whether he was banned or excommunicated, whatever he's enjoying. So I'm happy for him.
And for me, the
But I'm also
government should
happy
learn
he's
from
sharing
this.
it with the people who really need it, because this also takes us back to our conversation in a previous episode where Ife Omai was hammering on the fact that there are people who actually need this money more than some others. And I like that Runtown has recognized that fact, and he's doing what he can in his own capacity. Because who says he cannot keep the money to himself and enjoy it? But thank you and kudos on that. You want to touch on it?
No, it's cool.
Okay, so moving on. Nigerian actress and model Beverly Usu has responded to those slamming others for not learning something new this lockdown period. She said, and I quote, "Please do not add pressure to individuals who are going through what to them may feel like the worst time of their lives. Please do not make them feel worse than they already do by labeling them lazy or undisciplined or unmotivated. Because for some, being able to just wake up and take on another day right now is more important than learning French." End of quote. Of course, that's like a part of her long episode,
Very long
as you can see on the
episode.
screen. But did she make sense as far as I'm concerned?
Yes, she did.
I feel like this is just the kind of person I want to be friends with in real life. Everything about Beverly just, I don't know, just tickles me in the right way. This is really, really true. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of advice on, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with trying to learn French or sign language or makeup class or gile class. There's so many forwarding I've been getting lately, but I think, I mean, I don't want to not stress on the fact that you can be unmotivated and you can be lazy and lack discipline, but then if that's not the case for you and you really, truly, in your own personal experience with COVID-19 can't handle anything, I don't think anyone has the right to judge you on that. And that's nobody's business. Even if you're lazy or unmotivated, I'm not the judge of that. To be honest with you, nobody else but you are in control of your life in that situation. So everything she's saying is she's spitting bars right now. I know for that people, I'm working, so it's a bit different. And I think the work has kind of helped me to like ease out the stress. So if I was at home, I would definitely fall on that table.
And deal with the anxiety.
Yeah, I would definitely fall on that table that can't learn freaking French right now. I'll be freaking out. Like even when I go home during the weekends, I'm like mopping everywhere with Dettol and stuff. So imagine if I was not living at home, not having any distractions, and I'm just focusing on the fair, I would not be learning French. But there's some days where I'm really good. I feel like people have good days. There's some days where I'm like, okay, let's work out, let's do yoga, let's do whatever. So at the end of the day, I feel like I'm just more, this is just me personally, I'm just more in charge of my life, and I will be honest with myself and not try and pretend like I want to do ab workouts if I don't. So obviously, you can take that cue from Beverly.
Yeah, so I like everything she said. Everything she said made sense from top to bottom. And the most important part for me is that you can't judge another person's journey by your journey, because you don't know what people are going through. She said you don't know how some people just got laid off work, some people are at home without money, some people are at home without electricity, some people, so many things are not working out for a lot of people. So the fact that things are working out for you and you feel like, okay, I could deal with this COVID-19 and learn new new skills, take online courses, and a lot of people are not privileged to have that opportunity. So don't put no pressure on it. This COVID-19 is enough pressure on each and every one of us already. So for you to start putting more pressure on people by saying they're lazy if they don't come out with something, man, it's okay for you to just come out as yourself, the way you
That's
were.
enough.
Fata.
Yeah, I like
Just
that
come out
this
alive.
conversation is happening now. For me, even before COVID, you know when they tell you if you don't read a book in a month, then you're not making progress, and you're like, brother, I don't care. The month or the day I wake up in the morning and decide to read a book, I will read. If I don't feel like, I won't bother. Like, we put so much pressure on ourselves even before COVID, or people. I know sometimes it comes from a side of motivational speaking, or trying to encourage people to live a better life. But I also say when you take those things, take them, check them,
with a pinch of salt.
Let them work for you the way they can actually work for you. Don't bring external pressure. You already know you want to be successful. You already know you want to be better than who you were yesterday. So put in the work that is needed. Surviving even in Lagos is a problem. And now adding COVID-19, there is fear, there's anxiety. You said something this morning that we don't even know if we're going to be alive after this whole thing, or if there's an ending. So let's just take a seat back and let people live their lives. I think that's just the
most important thing is for everyone to be safe and come out alive.
Come on, like you said, if you're coming out fatter, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's totally fine. Just eat if you have it. Moving on.
Netflix, binge Netflix, anything you want.
Just as long as we still have you with us, that's the most important thing for us. Moving on, worried about her husband, who is a doctor, and her elderly parents. Popular Nigerian author Chimamanda Adichie speaks about her fears amid the coronavirus pandemic. In a post she shared on Instagram, she says, the news can be exceptionally exhausting and can inflame anxiety, but it is important to educate oneself. Her post read in parts, quote, coronavirus is a menace in the air, a menace inside our heads. Every day I am reminded of how fragile, how breakable we are. My husband is a doctor, and each morning when he leaves for work, I worry. My daughter coughs and I worry. My throat itches and I worry. On FaceTime, I watch my elderly parents. I admonish them gently. Don't let people come to the house. Don't read the rubbish news on WhatsApp. Yeah. I think this is a fear we're all familiar with, and we've had the conversation on it on this table before. Like, even till tomorrow, if I'm coughing, I still think, is this corona?
Is that you?
I mean, if I wake up in the morning and then I don't know if I'm the only one, but I know every morning I have like one sneeze, right? So when that happens, I feel like, okay, yeah. So we'll be fine, I hope.
Yeah. I didn't know that her husband was that kind of doctor. I mean, I've heard her use the word like doctor in front of the name, but I didn't know he was like a medical doctor.
It was a PhD or something.
Maybe because
Yeah, I thought it was like
I'm not a follower fan like that. I didn't even know that. I've never heard that use the two phrase "my husband" ever,
Yeah. She
ever.
doesn't use it
This is
often.
my first time
Yeah.
seeing my husband from Chimamanda Adichie.
Yeah, I think
So you didn't know she was married?
I know, of course, I know she
well,
was
there's a
married.
lot
I
of
know she
stereotypes
has.
that
Yeah.
just assume that her
Because
ideologies
she's
will
a
not fit with
feminist,
a man
yeah.
and stuff. But there's men
No,
out there
she's
that
married.
are strong enough. Anyway, I adore her, and I adore her writing. Even the way she wrote in the thing was a breath of fresh air for me. Kind of made me remember the books I've written. She has this tone that's just very, like, she has a way of simplifying complicated things and breaking down her emotions and stuff. In regards to the feelings, though, there's nothing brand new. I think everyone can kind of relate to that. I mean, it's a lot more specific if your husband is fighting. This is like war, like an invisible war. So that adds another twist to it. And
He can't be too careful.
I'm bringing that home with their kids and everything. So I'm hoping that, I can imagine, first of all, the panic and the anxiety, which is the word that she used. So I'm just hoping that he stays safe in that department. I was waiting for her, to be honest, because I love Chimamanda. I was waiting for her to say something about the virus as well, in general. Usually people come out and say, you know, advice in speech and things like that. So I'm glad that, you know, sis has come out to give our opinions and everything. It's nice to know that, okay, we're not the only ones who are, you know, scared right now. Even the strong people are.
I also like that she touched on how we consume the news right now and the kind of things that people forward on WhatsApp and can put fear into you. So we need to watch it. Like, decide what you want for yourself. If you have to block someone this period to maintain your sanity, I think you have the right to do that, and let's settle it after COVID-19, because the amount of content people forward these days, the ones that are real, the ones that are not real. Someone sent one that was saying we should get a foil and put on our window so that when they
Haven't you seen onions?
so that when they turn on the 5G it will not kill us. I mean, so many ridiculousness. So you just have to try to focus. If you can feed on the news once a day, I think that's fine. Choose when the peak hour is, whether it's in the morning for you or evening, and just get the information you need and maintain your sanity.
Well, my heart goes out to every health worker out there this period, because I think they are the true heroes. They are like our military, our
Superman.
Do you understand? Like, they're the ones fighting the war right now, because they are the ones putting their lives on the line every single day. Yes, people will say, well, they signed up for it, but
I don't think they signed up for COVID-19.
well, they signed up for everything relating to health.
Right.
So you can say they signed up for it, but my heart goes out to Heavy, and I just want to use this opportunity to say thank you to each and every one of them for the fight. They are fighting, and they are winning gradually. It's one day at a time. And for the elderly ones, they are more susceptible to these virus. And
That gist is now like this, so it's no more just elderly men. It's now everybody.
But your immune system as a young person can fight it.
Even
small children are dying,
and old people are recovering.
Yeah,
and even people with underlying illnesses.
So I think that was the early stage discovery. It has evolved.
Like I said yesterday, the studies around the virus is growing every day, and it's changing. Do you understand? So as for the elderly ones, I can imagine how she's feeling right now, because they probably would still be like, you know how elderly people are like, oh, let them come in, let them come and eat, let them come and do this, let them come in. But right now, people need to know that, man, the social distancing thing is real. Do you understand? Because I see a lot of people are beginning to take it for granted. So when I'm driving to work every day and I see...
You're not taking it for granted.
You don't have to bring that to live television. Can we do that?
But are you taking it for granted? Now that your response is making me speak
sharing
now.
with people that you're not supposed to be doing? Like,
do we share meals?
No.
Are you talking about?
If do you want to tell us something?
No, does she want to tell us something?
Do you want to tell us something?
Because
guys,
no,
Ife is not
we all have
doing
receipts. I have receipts. In fact,
Ife
I have
is
a video.
invading people's meals.
NCDC is coming to
And
carry
if there was
Ife.
coronavirus in Ife's
Do you know the
fingers,
interesting
that's
part
how
of
I'll
this?
catch it.
When they come for him to pick him, they will find out from him who are the people you have invaded their space.
You see what I'm saying?
And they're carrying you to.
Do you understand? And I have a problem with that.
So you don't invade my meal. It's fine. No. It's
Invade
fine.
my meal.
Yeah, no.
Think about it again. How does she invade your meal?
Not that type of meal. Calm down.
Goodness. Okay, I don't know what to say. But we need to move on to the next story.
No.
Do you have anything else to say that will change the world right now? Do you?
But
That's a very
I was
heavy shaking
I
right there.
was going to talk about The social distancing thing.
Okay.
The people on the road asking people for a lift. Stay at home. It's not that difficult. Just stay at home because I'm not going to give anybody a lift. Do you understand? I was at the checkpoint the other day. I think I shared that story already. So, all right, let's move on.
You didn't save the world, but
Okay, so Nollywood actress Tony Abraham tells Nigerians to stop judging people for their past mistakes. She says, we are all human and bound to make mistakes. Please, because life does not come with a manual book. Yeah, I mean, I think this has been her line of message for a very long time,
And I think
especially
it's
when she
because
started
she gets
finding
judged.
herself. Yeah.
I think it's because she gets judged. I'm sorry, she's really difficult.
She's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I know too many people who have worked with her,
Oh,
and
wow.
even I've even been in an indirect work with her as well. I mentioned this ages ago in my story that I feel like people who come out with a lot of like
If you don't mind, was she the
motivational.
one you were talking about on the
I'm
show
not
when you
even
said,
saying anything.
I don't want to mention the person's name, but she's really difficult to work with?
No, I mean, maybe not her.
Tell us.
Because I haven't worked with her personally. I think the
Okay.
person I was talking about. Anyway,
Okay.
my point is
No, you didn't
that,
person
We
that
want to see.
It's called tea time.
I always sense that people who come out to say things like that have serious problems. Sometimes it's very hard to, I might be wrong, Tony, so forgive me. But I feel like sometimes it's really hard to see that you are a problem and then you think that everybody else is the problem. That happens too many times. I don't keep friends. All those girls that say, I don't like friends, I don't like girls. You're probably the problem because I have girlfriends and there's nothing wrong with them. So when you said it's a cycle going on, you know, you have to sometimes really try hard to evaluate yourself that maybe you're the problem. I'm not just speaking about anybody else. I've been the problem in many times. I'm carrying my own advice as well. Secondly, I'm not saying that her advice isn't real. Some people do judge you for your past and that's their problem and everything. But it's always good to always have that kind of mindset that's open to evaluation because that's the only way you would grow. It is very easy, especially inside of to be honest with you, Nigerians have this thing where they'll be like, if you don't accept me for who I am, me. Like, I don't think it's a very good mindset, to be honest. There's one thing to accept yourself and know your flaws, own your flaws, and, you know, moderate how you want to grow on that.
And also work on them.
Yes, it's another thing to then just be stuck up in your nastiness and expect everybody to have to deal with that. So I don't know where she falls on that table, and I'm not going to judge her for her intentions because I don't know what her intentions are. But on surface value, she hasn't said anything wrong.
As for me, it's okay for you to judge me by my past, and it's left for me to now prove to you that my past doesn't matter anymore, that I'm a different
Because we
person
are human beings
entirely.
But let's be
Yeah.
real. If you're sorry to interrupt, let me just say that. Do you not think that it's important to hold people's past? Especially when you're making a decision with how you want to
Yeah,
interact with
there's
them.
a wise man once said to me that forgive but never forget.
Exactly, and I
Do you
think that your
understand? And I think
past-
that's the same thing with the past. Always ignore it if you see that this person is changing, but never forget because sometimes the leopard never changes.
Because I
its
feel like
spots.
past have a pattern to people's lives. There's some things that have never been in my past, and there's a high chance that because they're not in my past, they won't be in my future.
Definitely.
So that's like the idea that I'm going to forget everything. When I thought about that, I remembered Nicki Minaj and her husband and his past and everything. And now sis has changed her surname. So I cannot sit here and not say that past that everybody was screaming about didn't really trickle into his future. And that's why, especially if you're thinking about like making a bonding relationship with someone, I don't think that's the time you want to be forgetting their past. Like you have to check, has this person been known for corruption or not working hard or things like that? Like I have to consider all those things.
Yeah, it's like you said, you used a word, a pattern, and sometimes, not even sometimes, remember when we talk about anything that has to do with the law and in court, you always talk about using precedents and to judge the case. And of course, we need to forgive and give people second chances and the benefit of doubt. But never forget, because sometimes you see that sign and you know that this is happening again, and you probably have to call that person to order.
It only takes a trigger for your past to come back.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I think even that.
But also work on it.
Yeah, but even that idea
like I
that,
said, it's okay for anyone to judge me by my past, but it's left to me to decide if I do not want my past to be in my future
I think if
anymore.
people
So it's a
are
personal
also holding me
decision.
accountable to that past, that can also bring a positive thing. Like if I know that, okay, if you're a bit, maybe you talk too much or whatever, or you don't listen enough, for example, then if I know that that's something that people have talked about and they know that about me, then I kind of like want to then like
Be cautious about it.
Other people, so it can be good.
Okay, so on the surface, like you said, her message is good, but
And when it
La
comes to the
Betebo.
depth,
we don't know the truth. So that's how we wrap up this episode of Tea Time. Thank you for watching, and my thank you as always to go to my co-anchors Ife Omai and Ife Oluwa Oshonkeye and the entire production team. Thank you for watching Plus TV Africa's Tea Time. My name is Elsie Godwin. Do stay home, stay safe, and keep watching Plus TV Africa.